everyone, how's it going? My name is Zankichi and I hate it
when my computer breaks down.
But hey, this video isn't about my PC woes. This is about a new video game that came out recently called Valkyrie Elysium, a new installment to the Valkyrie Profile series of games that was released by Square Enix a very long time ago. I'll be honest, I actually forgot this game was going to be released this year until one day I was browsing the PlayStation Store and I saw it and I said to myself, huh, oh yeah, that's right, this game was announced recently. Yeah, sure, I'll make a video out of it. And here we are with a brand new console and another hurricane survived. Man, it's just like the Valkyrie Profile games, it's nothing but misfortune and misery. For the uninitiated, the Valkyrie Profile series of games tell stories that are loosely based and inspired by Norse mythology, with Odin as the central deity, the Valkyries as the main characters, and the fear of Ragnarok looming over the world with the destruction it is fated to bring. Each story is about one of the Valkyries, either preparing for Ragnarok, attempting to prevent a great calamity, or seeking revenge on one of them for taking their loved one away. These stories bring forth many heavy themes like hopelessness, death, betrayal, misfortune, and misery, all while offering a solid plot that is self-contained in each game. However, after the DS game, which released in 2009, the West hasn't seen another Valkyrie Profile game in over 10 years, and honestly, I thought that was it. But come September 29, 2022, a new installment rolled in, and boy, I never asked for this one, but hey, it exists! And I'm playing it. So let's go. The story starts off with a bit of exposition. It tells the legend of how Odin and his brothers defeated the primeval giant demeanor and created the world, how gods and humans lived in the world tree called Yggdrasil, the terrible war waged by the wolf Fenrir against the gods of Asgard, and the imminent arrival of the world-ending event known as Ragnarok. You control Valkyrie, a warrior goddess created by Odin with the sole mission to purify the souls in Midgard and to rid it of the undead. He explains that after the war, Fenrir wounded him severely, and that purifying Midgard will help him in his recovery. So, Valkyrie begins her mission to purify and save the world in the land of Belize. In her travels, she comes across a survivor who runs away at the sight of Valkyrie. Unfazed by the young man, Valkyrie continues moving forward until eventually reaching Belize Castle and encountering a Naglfar, a creature created when a human soul is distorted by the undead, becoming monstrous in nature. So it's not a Nordic ship made from the nails of the undead. Creative liberties, am I right? Valkyrie defeats and purifies the Naglfar, and it reverts to the soul of the Knight Commander of Belize called Egon, who later she recruits as her first Einherjar. As she continues her mission of purification, Valkyrie encounters other souls whom she recruits as her brave warriors. Cypher, a merchant from the port city of Galba who also became a Naglfar and was purified by Valkyrie. Christopher, a valiant knight and princess of the kingdom of Lucarda, and Taika, a guardian of the Romalian territory and a powerful sorceress. She also comes across Hilda, another Valkyrie he crosses paths with her frequently with the intention of impeding Valkyrie from completing her task given to her by Odin. As Valkyrie proceeds, Odin lays before her a new task: to retrieve the 4 gifts, Gungnir, Draupnir, Levitine, and Gjallarhorn, to be able to commandeer the ship of legend called Skidbladnir, which, according to Odin, is vital for the salvation of the world. In her search for the gifts, Valkyrie and company are able to retrieve Gungnir and Draupnir. However, when searching for Levitine, she crosses paths once more with Hilda, but this time they are interrupted by Fenrir, the giant wolf who wounded Odin in the Great War in Asgard, and is female. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, Fenrir is male in the mythos, right? Wait, then again, Loki is male, but he gave birth to both Fenrir and the Sleipnir, right? Creative liberties! Fenrir arrives with no intention of harming the party. However, she sows the seed of doubt within Valkyrie to make her question Odin's true motives behind the world's salvation, as she and Hilda leave with Levitine in hand. And that's the story so far. No added fluff and straight to the point. But at least in the story. Here's the thing. The story is fine. It's an epic tale of grand proportions, the characters are what you expect from a high fantasy setting, and the setting has that pull that makes you want to explore it. But damn, I had to progress over half of the game to get a good chunk of the main plot. To some, that's not a bad thing, but for me, a lack of plot at the beginning gives me an impression that there's not much to show for the story. Sure, the first half of the game shows Valkyrie recruiting Einherjar and getting to know the state of Midgard, but between all that, there's no significant story progression. Valkyrie just follows Odin's orders and kills undead all around. And yes, Hilda's appearance during the first half was cool, but she's so vague about things that I was losing interest until Fenrir showed up. After that, I was really invested in the story and I wanted to see how it would end. Especially since I have first-hand experience on the game series, and I do know a lot about the characters. But I won't say much because that'll delve into spoiler territory. But maybe another time. Yeah, sure, I'll think about it. On the other hand, the gameplay for Valkyrie Elysium is pretty solid. If you have ever played a hack and slash action game like Devil May Cry or Bayonetta, then you know what you're getting yourself into. Combat is fast paced with simple ground and aerial combo maneuvers, different types of weapons with unique attacks, strengths and techniques, magic spells of varying elements that can turn the tide of any fight, and Einherjar that can be summoned at will to aid Valkyrie in battle. In other words, it is so fun to kill undead in this game. There's also character progression where you can upgrade Valkyrie with magic stones of different color to boost her stats and give her new moves, and the Einherjar become stronger the more you use them and can acquire new attacks by completing their side quests. Weapons can also be upgraded by using the aforementioned magic stones to increase their damage, but they also have this proficiency stat, which I wasn't cool with it. Essentially, this stat can be increased by simply hitting enemies with a weapon, but the increase is small, so waves of undead must die in order to increase each weapon's proficiency. What's the purpose of this? This only serves as a means to unlock certain Valkyrie skills that are only available if you reach proficiency level C for each weapon at most. Look, I don't mind using different weapons. On the contrary, I like the variety this game has, but the proficiency increase is so slow that I had to repeat a few side quests just so that I could catch up with each weapon. And last but not least, the eye candy. Man, this game looks good. You've been seeing gameplay and hearing the music of this game throughout this video, but let me go over this real quick. Character and enemy designs are delightful, very high fantasy. The environments and locales are varied with different themes to each one, and this music is so fitting to the setting. It blends so well with what's going on in the screen that it even heightens when combat begins and recedes when it's over. As you can see, I had a lot of fun with the game, but the story is where I have my main concern. Again, it's not a bad story, and it is pretty straightforward. However, that slow start didn't give out a strong first impression, which made it lose points for me. The gameplay was fun though. Sure, it can get repetitive at some point, but the variety that the game offers for combat does great if you want to switch it up and try new things. Now, is it worth its asking price? No. The game, despite having a slow start and lots of side quests to complete, is not very lengthy and it offers very little replay value. The game does have 4 endings, however, all these endings you can get them without replaying the whole game, which I did. With that being said, my honest opinion for Valkyrie Elysium is to borrow it. The game is fun, I admit it, but you're not missing out on anything, so there's no need for you to go out your way and get this game. Ask a friend who has the game and play their copy, or if you're like some friends of mine, ask them to show you the game. Yeah, that's right. You know who you are. It's cool though. I'm okay with it. And with this, I am done. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and click that notification bell. That way you can stay notified with all the content that I will bring. If you have anything to say about my opinion or anything else about the game, the comment section down below is the place to be. But please do keep in mind that in the end, this is just my opinion. Thank you again, and have a good day.